they had just finished a dinner party. If you've missed the movie, you're not really getting spoiled, with anything, but they just finished a dinner party. Everybody left the apartment. They live in Chicago, and he sits down to turn on the console and start playing some games. So this is where Jennifer Aniston, comes at him with the contempt. This is where it all starts.
I'm gonna go do the dishes.
Cool.
It'd be nice if you helped me.
No problem. We'll get them a little bit later. I'm just gonna hit the streets here for a little bit.
Gary, come on. I don't want to do them later. Let's just do them now. Take 15 minutes.
Oh, I am so exhausted. I just honestly want to relax for a little bit. If I could just sit.
So just to pause here and talk about this real quick. I've spent many a consult with guys. You've probably seen it on some of the call-ins. You might have seen some of my videos where I'm talking in the car on the Entrepreneurs of Cars channel. It's generally unwise to live with a chick, even if you're committed to each other, even if it's an LTR, because this is the sort of stuff that'll happen more often than not. It's like, now that you're living under the same roof, you're on each other's feet, you're in very close proximity and familiarity. There's three idiots that usually destroy long-term relationships, and two of them are proximity, which is going to happen by nature if you're living close together under the same roof. And familiarity is the other one, which is where you become very familiar with a person's habits, faults, everything. More often than not, you'll start to find fault in them as you're very close to them and as you get more familiar with their schedules. Like in this case, guy likes to come home from work. He's worked a long day. He's done the dinner party for her and all of the friend circle and that sort of stuff. And he wants to kick back and put his feet up and play a video game. And she expresses contempt, and you'll see how deeply the contempt is expressed here for him and his interest in wanting to, kick back and relax.
Honestly, want to relax for a little bit. If I could just sit here, let my food digest, and just try to enjoy the quiet for a little bit. Get some. That's what happens. And we can clean the dishes tomorrow.
Gary, I don't like waking up to a dirty kitchen.
Who cares?
I care, all right? I care. I busted my ass all day cleaning this house and then cooking that meal, and I worked today. It would be nice if you said thank you and helped me with the dishes.
Now, there's several parts to this because it goes from one thing to another thing to another, and she just keeps expressing contempt at a greater level for him and for the things that she's disgusted by him. Again, it just starts with the dishes, but it's not about the dishes. It's about him. Pay attention.
Fine. I'll help you do the damn dishes.
Oh, come on. You know what? No, that's not what I want.
You just said that you want me to help you do the dishes.
I want you to want to do the dishes.
Why would I want to do dishes?
See, so now it's not about him wanting to do dishes. It's about him wanting to do something to serve her, like, i.e., the dishes. Notice how it shifts and starts to pivot around.
Why?
See, that's my whole point.
Let me see if I'm following this. Okay? Are you telling me that you're upset because I don't have a strong desire to clean dishes?
No, I'm upset because you don't have a strong desire to offer to do the dishes.
I just did.
After I asked you.
Jesus, Brooke, you're acting crazy again.
Don't you call me crazy. I am not crazy.
I didn't call you crazy. I didn't call you crazy. No, I didn't. I said you're acting crazy.
You know what, Gary? I asked you to do one thing today, one very simple thing, to bring me 12 lemons, and you brought me 3.
God damn it.
Now we're going from dishes to him wanting to do the dishes to now she introduces something else that she wants to express contempt for: lemons. What have I said for a long time? Guys just want peace in their life. They don't want a challenge. And I think one of the things that women get gravely wrong about relationships is they think that they need to challenge a guy. They need to give him like some kind of a test, some kind of a challenge in his life. And it's like, the dude doesn't want a challenge. He's worked all day. He's an entrepreneur, runs his own business. He wants to come home. And, this is the case for, Vince Vaughn in this particular, movie, in this scene anyway. He wants to come home and kick up his feet and do what he wants. When he's done all of that, he doesn't want to be challenged. He doesn't want to be told to do this, that, and the other thing, or wants to be told how to feel about doing this, that, and the other thing, or to volunteering for things that she wants him to volunteer for. And it's like, this whole convoluted mess that you see starting to unfold here. We're only about 25% of the way through, a third of the way through max. As it starts to unfold and get worse and worse, again, the vast majority of this could be completely avoided by not living together, right? I've said this many times before, and I'll say it again before we continue. You can love a woman and not live with her. Let's continue.
If I knew that it was going to be this much trouble, I would have brought home 24 lemons, even 100 lemons. I know what I wish? I wish everyone that was at that goddamn table had their own little private bag of lemons.
It's not about the lemons.
Well, that's all you're talking about.
I'm just saying it'd be nice if you did things that I asked. It would be even nicer if you did things without me having to ask you.
Okay. You see how the shift goes. The shift goes, I'm going to do the dishes. It'd be nice if you offered to help to do the dishes. It'd be nice if you wanted to offer to help to do the dishes. It'd be nice, something about the lemons. It would be nice if you would do things without me having to ask you to do certain things or to think about certain things without me having to think about you doing those certain things. And it's like, it's getting to the point where he has to read minds. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's his next point.
I was working today and I made that meal, and you could have thought to yourself, you could have said, I think I'm going to get Brooke some flowers.
You said on our very first date that you don't like flowers, that they're a waste of money.
Every girl likes flowers, Gary.
How many times have you dealt with a chick where she says she doesn't like something, and then you pay attention that, okay, the chick doesn't like flowers. And then you pay attention that you never buy her flowers, or you only buy her flowers on, important dates or something like that. She delivers your first son or something like that, let's say. But, and then it's turned around. It's like, every girl likes flowers, Gary. You should know these things. Why can't you read my mind? Right? Again, all of this could be avoided simply by not living together.
You say that you don't like flowers. I'm supposed to take that to mean that you do like flowers?
No, this is not about, you're not getting it. You're not getting this, Gary. Okay, it's not about the lemons. It's not about the flowers. It's not about the dishes. It's just about, how many times do I have to drop hints about the ballet?
You know I can't.
And then it goes to the ballet. It's always one thing after the, what have I said many times before, guys? Contempt is the clock that ticks down to the end of the relationship. If you love a woman and you want a strong probability of that relationship ending at some point, move in with her immediately, right now, today. Don't even wait. Do it. The sooner the better, because this is the kind of stuff that is more likely to happen. Most guys are not equipped to deal with modern women. Even guys that I know fairly well, I see them reset back to their default programming, the plugged in beta male, and they're just not equipped to deal with women, the modern woman today anyway, on a long-term basis, because the modern woman's been told by society and culture and social media and music and Hollywood and all this sort of stuff to always be, frustrated with men. Men are incompetent. You go and look at any kind of marketing piece for cleaning products, anything that you turn on cable TV on, just about everything uses the man or the father in the household as the butt of the joke. He's incompetent. He's not resourceful. Doesn't know how to change a tire. He's a moron, sort of thing. Mom's a hero, so go buy this product because it'll make your house cleaner. It'll make it more organized, or whatever it happens to be, right? This is how they get you. Let me just back this up a few seconds.
Gary, okay, it's not about the lemons. It's not about the flowers. It's not about the dishes. It's just about, how many times do I have to drop hints about the ballet?
The ballet.
You know I can't stay. Brooke, come here. We talked about the damn ballet. I hate the goddamn ballet.
It's not about you loving the ballet, Gary. It's about the person that you love loves the ballet, and you want to spend time with that person.
Let me explain something to you guys about like the whole notion of women like certain things that they want to drag guys to as like their accomplice. There's certain concessions that you're going to have to make, guys, like when you get into a relationship with a chick. Now, in this case, she's using the ballet as an example. I remember I had a girlfriend at one point in my 20s who had like a keen fondness for her fluffy white dog. I think it was a Bichon was a breed. Stupid breed, doesn't bark, absolutely useless, would never scare off an intruder that would break in your house or anything like that. Pretty much one of those useless, like fluffy lap dogs that just doesn't shed. And this affinity that she had for it brought her to things like dressing the dog up in clothings, booties, on the feet in the wintertime, a winter jacket or something like that if you walk it. And there's a festival that popped up like Woodstock, or not Woodstock, it was called Woofstock, sorry. And it was like, let's go. I want to take you to Woofstock. And I'm just like, I'm not interested in your affinity for fluffy white dogs. I'm not interested in hanging out around with a whole bunch of other people that dress up their fluffy white dogs and put boots on them and sweaters and, oh, you just look at a little doggy. And then you're around a bunch of like people like this all day long. It's not my thing. And like, Gary in this, particular clip over here is saying ballet is not my thing. I'm not into it. It's perfectly fine to tell women, hey, if you like Woofstock or you like the ballet, go with your sister, go with your girlfriend. It's cool. You guys have a good time. You guys have a better time than me just sort of sitting there going, like where's the horsepower? Like, where are the tits? Give me something interesting, here to deal with, right? So if there's something that you don't have an affinity to, like this is the notion of frame, just basically saying, look, I'm not going to do that. And if she were to bring it up again in the future, trying to slam it in your face, just like, we already had that conversation. I already told you, if that's something that you like to do, if you want to go to the ballet, then go to the ballet with your sister, go to the ballet with your friends, take your mom, sort of thing. But again, there's certain concessions that you'll have to make from time to time for a woman in a relationship. I just think that like trivial things like going to Woofstock or going to a ballet or something like that probably shouldn't be one of them, right? Like it's not a hill that the relationship should die on if she wants to make a mountain out of a molehill. It's one of those things like, look, woman, I'm not going to argue with you on this. I've already stated my position. That's how it is. That's all. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.